Flosstube, I am Danielle and this is my channel Lovin' Stitchin', a channel all about cross stitch. Today is Thursday, December 1st, 2022, and this is Flosstube number 34. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to be back for a regular Flosstube today. I appreciate everyone who stopped in and viewed my ornament parade that I did a couple weeks ago. That was a lot of fun, and now the ornaments are all on the tree. Or trees, I should say, and so it's been fun to just enjoy them and also just have things cleared out of my craft space. It has now become a Christmas space where I'm going to be wrapping all the Christmas presents and all the crazy that is going on in there right now. But it is all good, and it's just nice to have things cleared out from the ornament finishing extravaganza that was the last month. So it's been several weeks since my last video. I do have some FFOs and then some whips. I don't have any finishes that aren't fully finished, which is a nice thing to have going on right now. And I think this will be a little bit of a shorter video because I've really been focusing on some of the same whips instead of moving around like I normally do. So that's been a good thing, I think. But I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. We have been battling some sickness going throughout the house. Thankfully, I have not picked up a whole lot of it. I had a sore throat, but nothing much. But my son lost his voice. He's got his Christmas play today. Everyone is healthier. We're still kind of dealing with just the after effects of things. But some of that can linger on for a little while, especially with the weather turning cold. But he lost his voice. He has a speaking part and some songs. I think we're about 80% back to his voice, which is great. So he's going to be able to participate tonight, and we are really looking forward to that. My daughter had a little ballet Christmas dance that she did, and that was super cute to watch on Monday. And then we did have a overnight in Nashville on Sunday night with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, and we got to see the ice show that the Gaylord Opryland puts on. And so if you're not familiar with that, the Gaylord hotels, there's several of them throughout the states, they bring in for Christmas ice sculptors from across the world. They've not done it the last 2 years because they've not been able to bring them in from overseas, but this year they brought it back. And so we've gone to 3 or 4 of them, I think. And they do these beautiful ice sculptures, and it is kept in a room that is like 9 degrees. And so they give you big parkas to keep warm. And then you get to walk through these sculptures, and there's usually a theme. One year was the Grinch, that we went to, and then this year it was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So the kids loved it. They were cold, but they had so much fun looking at the different ice sculptures, and so that was a lot of fun. And we did dinner at the Rainforest Cafe, so they got to see all the animals, the kind of rainstorms that come through the cafe. Kind of scared my daughter a little bit, but then she thought it was cool after she realized what was going on. That was just pretend. So it was a lot of fun just to spend time with them and go through the Gaylord Opryland Hotel and look at all the lights because it's beautifully decorated. I'll try to insert some pictures of the ice sculptures if I can do that. But anyways, let's dive into the cross stitch. My husband is off today, so he was on drop-off duty this morning where I was just trying to gather things and get things together, and now he's on pickup duty. So while he is out picking up the kids, I thought I would film a quick video since I don't know when the next one will be after this. So anyways, let us get into it. So I have 3 fully finished objects, and the first one we will go with, I got paper everywhere, is going to be the 9 patch from Primrose Cottage Stitches. So this is the final one in the ones I've been doing all year. I did 11 of the 12. And so this is the December 9 patch that I fully finished. And this little box, I think it is from either Michael's or the dollar store, and that I've just been switching them out with. I think I may eventually go to a different finish on this, but for now these work. And they're just put in there by magnets. And the backing fabric is the Primrose Cottage, their pack that they had of the checks. And it's stitched on 25 count oatmeal Lugana with the called for colors, I believe. And that is the finish. So I'm glad to have this one up now with Santa and the gifts. So cute. The next finish is going to be Country Cottage Needleworks, and it is the sampler of the month for December. So there is the pattern. I did change the colors just to darken them a little bit. I did not write what I did on that, but I can't remember. I think I used Classic Colorworks Tomato maybe, and Licorice Red, I think. And let's see if I can get that to say it. And I actually just completely got it all together this morning. So I had everything glued down. I just did not have a ribbon and everything like that done. So I finished it up this morning. So this is on a piece that I got from a secondhand store. And it's just a little box, a wooden box. And it fits perfectly. And so I finished all of them. And this is my very last one. It has taken me 2 years to get all of these done. And I started with last January, so January 2020 when they first came out. I did probably 7 of them, and then I had 5 left to finish this year. 2 of them probably were whips, and then, and this one was one of the whips, so it was halfway done, and then the others were new starts. But I now have this series completely finished, and I'm so excited to have it done and just be able to switch it out. And it was so much fun to do it. And one other change that I made on here with the colors is the door. I did blue. I can't remember what blue I did. I think that's really tealy actually. And it's, let's see what this is, fabric. I think this is Priscilla's Pretty Plaids, I think, for the fabric. And then that bow, I absolutely love this fabric, or this ribbon, and it is from Hobby Lobby, I think. And just a little candy embellishment to go with, where are they? Down here, the candy embellishments down there. And then this is actually it's a tag that my mom had put a bunch of these on our Christmas presents last year just to go along with the gift tag. And I took them from everyone and said, I need all of these because there's red ones, there's green ones, they say different things, and I think they're perfect. And no one else wanted them, so I saved them for cross stitch finishes. So I've got a little box of them that I can go through and pick out what I want. All right, so that is that finish. And then one more. I think I showed this as a whip last time. And this is a gift, so it is going to get mailed out this week, hopefully, maybe next week, out to my aunt. So if you are my aunt and you're watching, I don't think she is, probably right now, look away, please. But this is Pop's Filling Station. It is one of the Hometown Holidays by Little House Needleworks. I stitched it on, I've got a card. I actually did a card this time. 32 count Heritage Lugana. And I did change some of the colors. So I used, let's see. Instead of hickory sticks, I think I used black coffee for like the black color. And then I used sulky for the white just to see if I liked that a little bit better on the 32 count and if it would, because it's 1 strand versus 2 strands. And I think I did like it. White is still just trouble for me. So I have not found a white that I really like yet. And then I used all of the called for the DMC numbers. And I used Manor Red for the red instead of Cherry Cobbler. So Manor Red by Classic Colorworks. So those are the changes that I made. And my dad made a custom piece. And I will try to give a little bit of background here on this piece. So my uncle, if you follow along, back in August, I flew out to Colorado with my sister to go to his celebration of life. He was, he was with Texaco Chevrolet for 30 plus years, I believe. And then he also was a collector of Model A vehicles. So I'll try to insert a picture of those cars that he had that are pretty amazing. And I remember riding in them. My mom and dad left their wedding in one of the vehicles, and just really cool. So he restored them from their original parts. He was part of a club, president of that club, everything. It was great. And so this pattern spoke to me for my aunt for Christmas. And so I gave it to my dad and I was like, I don't know what to do for a finishing piece. Do you have any ideas? So he looked up some of the original, not designs, but just ideas for Chevrolet Texaco. And so this is what he came up with for the finishing piece. And so I imagine she'll probably keep it up maybe year round. So it didn't need to be like a Christmas themed piece or anything like that. And so he cut it out. I mean, he designed it based on the size of the piece. He cut it out, hand painted it, sealed it, everything. And then I just put the piece on there, and that's all that I did. So this goes with the original, some of the original designs that are time period appropriate for when my uncle would have been working with them. And so this is the stitched piece. And the only change that I made here is the green on up here. Let's see. I had to bring it out all the way to the edge of the building because I wanted to fill in my uncle's name. So it's Don's Filling Station. And that is the only change that I made to this. But I'm very happy. It looks a little crooked and I'm not sure. I may have to fix that. It looks a little crooked. I put it on here this morning. So I may need to fix that. But I'm very happy with how it turned out. I think she's going to love it. And I'm looking forward to shipping this off to her. So this is my other, my third FFO. It's definitely crooked. I got to fix that. That's not going to work. All right. So those are my 3 finishes. And like I said, I don't have any FFOs because I've been, or FOs, just finishes because I've been working on stitching the same pieces pretty much to get them done. So since it is December 1st, let's start with my Advent piece, which I did get caught up and ready for today. I was so excited. So this is Country Cottage Needleworks Countdown to Christmas. And what my goal was to get all of the white boxes outlined and the houses done up here. And then every day in December, I'm just going to come in and I am going to fill in the numbers with a little piece. So this morning I woke up like 30 minutes before my alarm when everyone was still asleep. And so I decided to go ahead and get started on the one for today. So I'm going to give you the whole piece and then I will zoom in here on the top part. So that's the whole piece. So I did get all of the houses done. Everything's done up there and everything was ready to go for down here. So this one got a lot of love over the last few weeks in order for me to make sure I was ready to go for December 1st. And that was one of my big goals. I wanted to get it ready to go. And let's see. And this is stitched on, I do know, 32 count platinum Lugana. I finally looked it up because I had it on my phone to know what it's stitched on. So today was the wreath and the number 1. And I'm using the called for colors, I believe. I don't think I'm changing anything on this one. But I'm so excited. And then it took maybe 25 minutes to get that stitched up. There are some colonial knots in the wreath. And I am going to stitch the knots in the back stitch and everything like that just along with it. I don't want to have to go back later on and fill those in. All right, so that is the first one. And then I have also been working on a whip from last year. So I have 8 of these, right? I'm looking at my hutch, which you will see in the pictures in the beginning of this series. So I have 8 of these done, so there's 4 more left. And I've been working on this series since 2012, only a decade. So I really need to get moving and just get the last, this is 1 and then 3 others after this. So that hopefully next year I can do that. But this is Mrs. Claus Cookie Shop. And I had some of the white in the windows done on this one, and that is it when I picked this one up. But for some reason, I don't know, I got a bug. I decided I wanted to really, really hone in on this one, and so that is what I did. And this is where we are at. It is a 32 count even weave. I don't think it's the called for. What's the called for? Lamb's wool. Actually, it is. It's 32 count lamb's wool. That's what it is. I think that actually is the called for. So since I've been stitching these for a decade, sometimes I would, now it's not linen, but it's even weave. I would use the called for fabric back 10 years ago. I wasn't much into changing things up, but I now change things up, as you guys know. And so this is 32 count lamb's wool even weave. And that is where I'm at. So I really don't have a lot more. I've got both borders, the top that I'm working on now and the bottom. Some snowflakes, which, snowflakes, they're not my favorite. All that white stitching, I guess. And then Mrs. Claus and the cookies. So it is super close to being finished. And this is one that I do want to get finished. So I had planned on starting on winter pieces in December, but because I've got a few Christmas pieces still going, like this one, I just think I'm going to keep working on them until I get them done. I've got some that are so close to being finished that I just want to get them finished and not carry them over into the new year. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. All right, so I've got 2 more and, well, 3 more actually. But this one is a teeny tiny start. But it's one that I do need to finish because it will not take me much to finish it, I don't think. And this is by Shepherd's Bush. Yes, Shepherd's Bush. I can't talk. Shepherd's Bush, and this is their Sweet Baby Kept. So it's a series of 4. I was stitching with Kimberly Stitching on Instagram. She finished them last year. I finished 3 of the 4. So this is my 4th one that I need to do. And this one is in the Christmas Ornaments magazine from Just Cross Stitch 2007. They do also have a copy in here that is just a paper copy that you can get from Shepherd's Bush or any of the LNSs that might have it. But I just find these charts more difficult to read than the one that is, and the picture's better too, than the magazine. So the other ones are in the 2006, 2005, 2004 book maybe, I think, for that. And so I will show you the other ones I've done. This is on 32 count Heritage Lugana as well. One of my favorites. New favorites, I should say. So in a stable. I'm all over the place today. Sorry. As Bethlehem Slept. We'll just go up. Mary and Joseph. So their Sweet Baby Kept. Ready for my big start? This one has been sitting at my desk in between work and meetings and things. And obviously there have been more meetings than free time. So I have a teeny tiny start. I think that's on the angel's wing. Let's see. Yeah, that's just the angel's wing up there. All right, so we got lots of work to do on that one, but it's small. And so I should be able to do it. There's a lot of back stitch once you get the cross stitch done. And so once you get that back stitch going, it doesn't take very long at all. So that is one that I want to get done. Give some more work on, obviously, because there's barely any that has been done on it, but okay. And for the Primrose Cottage stitch along with Cornhusker State Stitchers, this is Christmas Rules. So that is the cover photo, and we just finished up week 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, build a snowman. So week 5, there's only 3 weeks left. I cannot believe it. It feels like we just started, but I love it. And this is where I'm at. I actually just finished this up last night. That is how busy things have been. I was not able to get any stitching done this weekend with traveling, which is okay. But there we go. I'm so excited. It looks so good, at least in my opinion. And this is on the, I've said this so many times, I should remember what this fabric is. Picture This Plus. Yep, brain not working. Okay, it's a sparkly blue fabric. I've said it in my last video, so I'm so sorry. I cannot remember where it is from. But I am using, I think, the called for colors for this one. I will say, I am stitching it on 28 count. And I feel like it calls for 28 count. Let me see. I can't remember if this had started in my last video or not, to be honest. So the sample was stitched on 14 count. Okay, so I ran out of the cranberry red very quickly. Is that the color that it is? There's like 5 pages to this chart. Yeah, like the Gentle Arch Cranberry. I ran out of that, like at Hang Your Stocking. So I would not have had any for the, yeah. I had a full skein of it too. So I had to order some from 123 Stitch, and thankfully they had some in and got it in very quickly, because that would have been a problem. But that is the one for this time. So I am also doing the back stitch, so his arms and nose. And then for his eyes, because he's got a wider face, I didn't want to do the knots, or the French knots or colonial knots. And so I just did full X's for his eyeballs and just evenly spaced them out, and I think it looks great. So big thank you to Cornhusker State Stitchers for hosting this. It has been a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun to see everyone stitching along on Instagram as well. And it's so manageable. Doing one part a week has been very manageable because they are so small. And so even though it's taken 8 weeks, or it will take 8 weeks by the time we get there, it's broken up in a way that's not overwhelming. And so a lot of times when I join a stitch along, it's kind of at your own pace, which is good too. But this gives me motivation to get a piece of it done every single week. And that's where this stitch along has been great, having it broken up like they've done. So they've done a great job. All right, so I do have one other whip, and then I have another one, but that's a gift. So I will just probably end up sharing that one on Instagram once I get it done and it gets out to its home. All right, so my last one is a new start because I could not wait to start this series. And it is Big City Christmas by Cottage Needleworks. So once it came in, I immediately got it started. I got it in on Black Friday, so instead of a Thanksgiving Day start, I had a Black Friday start. And I'm hopefully gonna work on this one tonight. Once I get the Christmas gift, it's almost done. I should be able to get that one finished up today and then work on this one tonight, I hope, while watching some football. But I feel like I've got a pretty good start on it so far. Did I write down what I'm stitching this on? Probably not. Not yet. But it is on, I think it's wheat Lugana. 28 count wheat Lugana, I'm pretty sure is what I'm stitching it on. With the called for colors. And this is where we're at. So that top border and then the top of the house. I think I'm going to stitch the house in the 3 sections because it is a 3-story building. And so I'm just going to fill in that first part and then go down to the next part and fill it in the bottom. And that's how I'm going to break it up rather than just trying to fill everything or do all of the parts and then fill it in. I think it'll be easier to do it that way. So this one is fantastic. This is one that I'm hoping to carry on into the new year as far as the series. I want to get this one done before Christmas or before the end of the year. But I want to hopefully get one done a month if I can. I know that worked out really well with Fall on the Farm and Little House Needleworks. But maybe I can do it for Big City Christmas. We'll see. Lofty goals here. I did get, which I'm keeping my floss in, so I'm going to go ahead and show this now, a very generous gift from Starlight Stitching Co. And so if you do not follow Amanda, you absolutely should. She makes these beautiful clutches, cross-stitch clutches, and she sent me this as a gift, and I just was floored when I got it in the mail. I've ordered from her before, so I knew the packaging, but I was like, I didn't order this. And so her very sweet card, I just want to say a huge thank you to her for this. So my floss is all kept in here, nice and safe, and turtles, the best. I love it. And even with a turtle charm. So I'm using this one for this project. I immediately put it to use when it came in the mail. Let's see, I do have a little bit of a haul. We'll go through that since it has been like a month maybe since my last normal video. Just a little bit. One thing that I'll mention with my plans is that I'm going to limit the haul. So that part of the video will be next year a lot more limited because I'm going to try to stitch from stash a lot more. I did get my floss fix. This is my last floss fix because I did cancel the membership because I think I've got a pretty good stash. And again, I'm going to try to stitch from stash rather than continue with a lot of the clubs that I've been in. There are a couple that are still going to come throughout the year that I've already like prepaid or whatever, but most of them I'm just going to stitch from stash. That's the plan. So anyways, this is November. Let's see, salmon orange are the colors. So macaroni and cheese, goldfish, candied yams, pumpkin harvest, old marigold, and colonial copper. I think there's like 2 of those that I've stitched with. Very pretty colors though. And then my January month to month came in. That one will continue into the new year. Color and Cotton November 2022 fabric. This is a sampler. So it's very neutral brown color. And I've got this one on pause for right now. So no, I won't be getting December. And then with my 1, 2, 3 stitch order, I did pick up Sing a Song of Christmas Away in a Manger by JBW Designs. I want to get all of these at some point. This is my very first one, but I've been eyeballing them since I saw them in on a trip in Missouri. Cecilia's Samplers is the store. So I saw these there and I've been eyeballing them for like 2 years now. But that's the first one that I got. And then let's see, Winter Petites, Little House Needleworks. So I've gotten all of these so far that she's put out. I think they're really pretty. And then of course the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine came in. The digital one came out like a month ago, and then the official one came out. And so I got that in the mail. Things are falling on the floor. That's okay. And then I did win, I think it was the Tidbit Ta-Da tiered tray tidbits off from Stitching with the Housewives. So that was really exciting. So I got a few things from them. And one of them is the gingerbread adorables. And so that is that one. And then for their sale, I picked up the Christmas adorables since they had a 20% off sale. And then some of the other charts that came with the winnings, I think I got Mrs. Claus Bakery, so the roundabouts, and Santa's Tree Farm. And then for the sale, I went ahead and picked up the other two. So Candy Cane Cottage and the Mr. and Mrs. And I did see, was it Claire, Space Claire, who already stitched the freebie, the Merry Roundabout freebie. So cute. So cute. And then the French Giraffe also, her patterns are very reasonably priced, and she had a sale. And so I just picked up a couple of those. So she's got a manger scene, and they're called the 4x4. So she does a lot of these series by 4 that are 4 inches by 4 inches. And one of them she had that is a manger scene, and she had them in 3 different frames that are connected. And so you've got the manger, and then you've got the shepherds and the angel, and then the angel and the wise men. And so I think these might be ones that I work on next year for a little series for my manger area. And then this Santa was too cute not to pick up. 4x4 Peekaboo Santa. And that pattern is showing through the white paper. Whoops. Super cute. So just a few things. Black Friday sales. From here on out, I am going to be good, and there will not be a lot of stash. Okay, so 4 giveaways from our last video. There were 4. And so I'm going to go ahead and give those winners out. This is a needle and thread, 3 stockings. And this goes to Norette Herzog, Herzog. Congratulations, Norette. And then we had the Elves in a Pocket. This goes to Treva Grett, Grett. Treva Grett. Congratulations. And then we had All Dolled Up, Snowy Pine by Little House Needleworks. And this one goes to Coffee Crafts Fabrics. Congratulations. And the final one is Reindeer Games by Country Cottage Needleworks. And that one goes to Glee Hansen. So if you will email me at the email address below, I will get these in the mail to you probably within the next week. Tuesday is usually when I can do mailing because I'm dropping my kids off at school, or both of them. And so I can get to the post office without any kids, which is fantastic. So I will try to get those out by Tuesday, and I feel a sneeze coming on. So other than that, that is everything that I have for stitching related things. For plans, I want to keep working on my Christmas pieces that I've got here. There's 2 more that are pretty close to a finish. So if I can get these ones done, I'm going to move on to them and try to get them finished just to clear out some whips. And then I'd like to get started on my winter pieces, and I have not made any progress on the baby sampler. And so I do need to put some work into that. We've got about 8 weeks or less left. And so I need to try to hopefully get that one done before she comes. So we'll see. Anyhow, and I've been thinking about my 2023 plans. I really enjoyed hearing about from everyone on the things that they're thinking about working on for next year. And some people haven't even started thinking about it. And I totally understand that. It can be a little bit overwhelming. And I like it when you don't have a plan. You just stitch. I think that's fantastic because that's what we're here for, is to stitch and enjoy and not be stressed out. But I find that for me, having some kind of structure, at least in the beginning, and it's going to change throughout the year, obviously. And I know next year is going to look so different for me than the past 2 years have for stitching, but at least putting in some goals or things that I'd like to accomplish. And I'm trying to keep it very light for next year, so not overwhelming myself with like the bigger pieces. So like month to month, I haven't started those, kept up with them. They're bigger, and so that's just not something that I think I can keep up with. And so not putting putting pressure on myself for that. But I did have a few things that I wanted to share with you as far as just general plans. And then maybe if I can get a video in before the end of the year, I don't know, I'll hopefully have some other things nailed down a little bit more. But some ideas that I have right now there are some bigger pieces that I want to stitch on every month. And so one day a month, I've picked a day for those bigger pieces to work on. So my Quaker Turtles, that was my piece that I started for my birthday last year. And I worked on it through Mania. So it's had like at least 5 days of work, maybe a little bit more, but not a lot. And so I really want to put some stitches into that. And so since my birthday is on the 23rd, or 23rd of February, so 23rd of every month, I'm going to try to work on Quaker Turtles. And then my Silent Night piece by Stitching with the Housewives, I haven't touched it since last year. I don't think I'm going to get to touch it this year, on the 25th. So that's going to be my Christmas stitch on the 25th of every month. I'd like to work on that one a little bit. And then my This Is the Day by Plum Street Samplers, I really want to get that one finished next year. And so I chose the 18th of the month. Since I had the 23rd and the 25th, I didn't want to put in another day in there. And so the 18th, the verse that is from is Psalms 118:24. So I wasn't going to do 24 because then I'd have 23rd, 24th, 25th set days for stitching. I didn't want to do that to myself. And so I did the 18th. And then hopefully on Sundays, I can work on some ornaments. And so I went through and I picked out a whole bunch of ornaments that I just want to be able to flip through and pick one and do it. And so that is in one of the bigger Stitching with the Housewives bags. I just have a ton of patterns in there that I can just go through, kit up the one that I want to do and work on it. So hopefully on Sundays I can be working on ornaments, because I do want to work on ornaments all throughout next year, again, like I did this year. And then again, the stitching from stash, that is going to be a big thing for me next year, is just using the floss that I have, as much fabric as I have that I can use. I might be working on some Aida, which I haven't worked on in a while, but I think it'll be nice to switch it up a little bit. And then patterns, I've got plenty. So I've gone through and I've picked out a lot of patterns that I like that I might want to scroll through and try to work on next year. As far as like monthly pieces, I did do January for this series, but I have not done the rest of them, but I do have them. And so I'd like to keep working on them. So this is the Vintage Chuck series, and it is by Erica Arndt, Confessions of a Homeschooler. And so she has a monthly series. I did the January one. My dad has plans for a finishing piece for this. He just hasn't put it together because I finished January long after January, and I knew I wasn't going to get to the rest of the series, so it's still in the queue for him to do. But I do want to work on these ones, so I've got all of them. So this is the February one. It would be the first one that I would work on in January if I can get that started. So I like to do those, and these are small. Keyword is small for me, except for like the bigger pieces, but those are, I'm going to cycle in once a month at least. And then I did receive these as a gift that I do want to do as well. This is the Typography series by Pine Mountain Designs. And so these again are small. So if I could fit these two in as like a monthly series that I do, that are smaller and much more manageable, those are things that I'd like to add in, just to have some structure, some idea of what I want to do. And then working on whips, because I've got so many whips. So those are the things I'm thinking about. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to get another video in before the end of the year. It just kind of depends on how things go throughout the month, just because it is very busy for all of us, I know. And so I hope everyone, if I don't see you before then, has a fantastic Christmas. I will be posting on Instagram, so if you don't follow me there, feel free to follow me. It is listed below, my Instagram. And so I'll post more updates on there, since I won't be getting out videos as much probably in the next year. But we'll kind of just see what the next year looks like with a new baby and everything like that. But I do plan on continuing to stitch, continue to come to Flosstube when I'm able to. I am close to, I think, 3,000 subscribers. So when I do get to another video, I will do more giveaways, I would say, just to kind of celebrate that. But today I didn't want to do any just because I don't know when I'll get back. So I didn't want there to be a huge lag time between when I can share with you those giveaways and winners and everything like that. So if you did win a giveaway, please go ahead and email me and I will get that out to you. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas, is able to get some stitching in, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.